I've just been asked by an off-camera questioner, well, why am I doing this? Why am I talking about Gabrielle? Well, the reason is that I want to make a link and show the similarities between Judaism and Islam. I don't want to harp on the differences. I want to harp on the similarities between the two religions, between the two Semitic religions. Remember that they both emanate from the same patriarch, Abraham. And so both children of Ishmael and Yitzhak come from Abraham. So right away, they have the same father. So there's a great similarity right there. Of course there are differences. Differences are, number one, they don't have the same mother. But let's harp on the similarities between the two. And in the religions themselves, the role of, in Arabic, when I once was studying the Bible, the Jewish Bible, in Arabic, and I looked up the word Yud-K Vav-K. And, well, how do they express that? And they call it Allah Kadma, Allah Kadman, first Allah, as opposed to the Elohim, which is a different designation. So Yud-K Vav-K is the first Allah. Remember that Allah is only a name of God, you see. And so this is, Yud-K Vav-K is Adman, Allah Kadma, first Allah. So they recognize the concept of Yud-K Vav-K in Arabic. So, and that's how it's expressed. These similarities are more important than differences. Everybody knows differences. What's difficult to pinpoint and to point out are similarities that make up for the differences. And one of these similarities is in the angel Gabrielle, or Gabrielle in Arabic. They both are in the Bible. There's no doubt they're the same person. They're the same person. They're both in the kind of like Bible and Quran literature. One of the differences is that in the Quran, Gabrielle, is the primary angel. That's not so in Judaism. And so what I say is, let us, as Jews, explore the role that Gabrielle can take for us. Maybe we're missing something here, not getting on to what Gabrielle is really saying. Always know that we're still waiting for Mashiach. This is not the end of times. Maybe that what is missing is this emanation of the left, what I'm going to call here the left-hand path, the left side. Gevura is what opens up in some methods to Sitra Achra. It's definitely the left side, the din, that's expressed through Gevura. And so the din is actually found out to be higher than the Kedusha. In Olam Haba, Yitzhak will be the highest. Now, how could that be? Because and Yitzhak, by the way, comes from the Gevurah side. It's Abraham at Hesed, Yitzhak at Gevurah, and Yaakov at Tiferet. And in Olam Haba, it will be shown to be that Yitzhak is higher, because he's from the Din. The Din goes lower, which then goes higher. So what we're talking about is Yitzhak, who just happens to be the brother of Yishmael. And Yishmael is Islam. So this is a tie-in here. One of the reasons why there's such trouble between Islam and Judaism is because it's a brother war. It's like any other family situation. So in this struggle, we have to understand the other and find similarities. It's not a question of compromise. It's a question of personal growth. We know that we have to incorporate the left. To attain our highest heights, we have to incorporate the left within the self. The left is considered the feminine. That's why the feminine has made such great strides in the past 100 years. In the secular world, the family life, as individualities, individuation of the feminine. That's from the side of Gevurah also. And so that's why I say the link between Judaism and Islam is through Gabrielle, through the Sephirot of Gevurah. And that link from the left, which is for us the angel of the left, because Michael is the angel of the right, that we have to incorporate the left to make ourselves whole. Now, as I've said, the term mare means vision. Just so happens to be the same gematria as Gabrielle. And the mare is a symbol for the Jewish quarters in Paris. And this is a gematria. Also, I showed in a previous video of the expansion of this way is 832, which is Eretz Yisrael. And that's why there's a tie-in today between Eretz Yisrael and French Jews. And I say that the tie-in is because of the necessity for the invocation of Gabrielle, the angel Gabrielle, into its rightful place within Judaism. Are there any more questions here? Have any question for me, Dad?
No.
And that's why I'm incorporating now. What I want to show are the similarities in religions. The similarities in the alphabets. The similarities in the esoterics. The great similarities in the alphabets. Especially in the letter Aleph and Aleph. Everything comes out of the Aleph and everything comes out of the Aleph. If you know one letter of either religion, you know the entire religions. Not only of that one, but of the other religion. I'm being asked a question. Thank you. What?
Why is it nobody mentions the connection between the Jews and Muslim.
My question here is, why doesn't anyone mention the connection between the Jews and the Muslims? Between Judaism and Islam? That's a wonderful question. You understand? Why don't they make the connection? And that's what I'm speaking to. Because people don't make the connection.
You're the only one?
I'm the only one that makes the connection. Only one looking for points of common interest. Only one of points of common history. Only one that mentions that the cubes on the tefillin are the cubes in the Kaaba. The only one who talks about what's inside the cube in the Kaaba as being the stone. Right? The only one who knows, am I the only one that knows, that talks about the circumambulation of the Kaaba 7 times. Isn't that what we do with the arm tefillin? That the word Kaaba, the highest concept in Islam, is the same Kaaba as we have on our arm, and it must be in a cube. And if it's rounded in any way, it's no good. If it's not black, it's no good. And the Kaaba, inside they call it the black stone. How about just these kind of things? Why must we harp on the differences rather than the similarities? Especially in a monotheism. These are monotheisms. All is Hashem. All is Allah. These are monotheisms. The languages are so similar. The writings from right to left. The whole idea that the letters themselves are symbolic and that they have a gematria, numerology attached. That there's esoterics. That you must study it in the language, in the original language. That there's special things. That they both come from divine providence. So that's a wonderful question. Why doesn't anyone make these similarities? And that's what I'm doing. Have any other question there, Dad?
No.
Since this is live, I won't wait for your next question. All I can say is, this is what I'm going towards now. And my whole thing is also Gabrielle. Gabrielle is an unconscious similarity. Say, that hasn't ever been brought up.
So why don't you be the advocate of the same rather than different?
Well, that's what I am. My father's asking me, why aren't I the advocate of the sameness rather than difference? And that's what I am. I'm the advocate of sameness. And here I am publishing it. This is published around the world right now.
Okay.
Anybody wants to see it. And so I am advocating the sameness and similarities and brotherly love. Understand? And pointing out the similarities in the religions. And what we're going to go on from there. And finding out what these similarities are and expounding on them.
Why aren't these other scholars from both religions?
Very good question. He's asking me in my ear, why aren't these scholars of both religions harping on these things And one of the good answers to that is, there are no scholars of both religions. Because any person that devotes his entire life to one of them has a vested interest in that one. He's either a rabbi or a scholar, or he has a position in the society. See? So even if he comes across a apparent truth, it's buried because it doesn't filter in for him. I am unaffiliated. Only somebody unaffiliated can do this. And after 9/11, I spent 3 years studying Arabic and Islam, even though I'm a Jewish scholar. I wanted to see what the mindset was for people to do an act like 9/11. See? And I will tell you that the great similarities in these religions are in their esoterics, in Kabbalah, and in esoteric understanding of Islam. I don't mean Sufism. I mean Ibn Arabi, who is considered a normative commentator of Islam, his esoterics. And the meditators, the mystics, they've always said this. Kabbalah is about love. And so is Islam. It's a religion of love. And Kabbalah is love. And you ever hear Christianity is love. So where's the love? Where's somebody showing all these things? Nobody's doing it. And so that's why I'm bringing you some of these words here and spurring you on, leading you on in that path. And that's the path that I hope to pursue.